Hey, good afternoon, guys. This is Hank. It is September the 9th, 0004, and this is another Heart to Heart with Hank. So, guys, mostly, and gals too, mostly when I do these Heart to Hearts, it's because I'm responding to something that someone has written me or something that someone has said about one of my sessions. And you guys who've been around for a while, you know how super sensitive I am. You know how argumentative I am. You know how stubborn I am. You know that if you say something to me that I don't like, I'm going to respond. And I just want to say for the record, everyone knows who's been a listener or a subscriber knows that if you say something to me, I always will respond. Even if you say, "Oh, great job, Hank," I'll say thank you. Great job, Hank and Lars, or whatever. I'll say thank you. Oh, I really resonated with this. This really helped me or something. I was like, I'm happy you resonate with the material. And I like that. And sometimes I have conversations with them. A few people have befriended me on Facebook and they've called me on the phone and we've had conversations or whatever. If I'm available I will. But when you come on and you start in on how you want me to do my sessions, or you have the audacity to tell me that if I'm asking about subject matters that you don't think are important, and Lars then says in the session that he doesn't want to bring up those particular type of things, or he doesn't want to say those particular things, and I disagree with that, and I feel like I'm being censored, now we have a problem. And I didn't look up Lars to come and do these sessions with me. Lars was following and paying attention, and he liked what he heard. And then he decided that he would like to communicate with me because he was getting a feeling that we had a connection. Now, if you've watched and listened, according to all of the higher dimensional beings that we speak to, they all say that we have a connection. And our connection is good. And so we had decided, okay, we're going to explore consciousness together. I'll induce you. He's already a channeler, but I'll induce him, and we'll get to where we're trying to go. I make all the questions. Every now and then, every blue moon, he'll have a question, but most likely he's like, Hank, you ask whatever the questions are. But now we've gotten to a point, so like I said the other day, he's like, well, I don't want to ask anything about that or answer anything about that, and then so we did have a conversation afterwards. I was like, so now you want to censor what I ask? And so that means I should only ask what you think is appropriate. I was like, listen, Lars, you're so good, dude. You can just literally put the camera on you, and he's already been doing it. One of the most incredible things that I don't know if anyone knows is obviously his first language is Swedish. And everyone in Swedish learns to speak English, but he doesn't speak English all the time. He's been speaking it now for a solid year and 3 months with myself. And he's really good at being able to interpret. When Maya speaks to him, she's speaking to him in Swedish. And then he interprets it into English in the sessions. Now, when he channels on his own, he gets it in Swedish, and then he writes it out. And then he then transcribes it into English. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work every single time that we do a session because it takes 2, 3, 4 hours. And sometimes the conversation that we have beforehand discussing what we're going to go in and discuss, and sometimes we don't do it at all just to see what happens and see what comes out, because we're testing ourselves to see what information that we could gather or draw from the sessions without talking about it beforehand. One of my major questions in the last 2 sessions that we did is, can you get information that you don't ask about? And obviously, like I said, with the RH blood thing, when he started describing the city in South America, he knew the name and the whole 9 yards. That was really awesome information or what have you. Now, as suspicious as I am, and you notice they said I was suspicious, I am suspicious. My thought is, okay, do you really know this information? Are you looking up this information? So this is something that you can talk about when you go into the session or whatever. You're like, well, why would you think that way? Man, you're really not trusting. And you'll hear them say, well, Hank, the reason why you're like that is because things that have happened to you in your life. Yes, I've had things happen to me in my life that make me not trust a lot of people. And, those are one of those things that I'm absolutely working on, but I embrace it and I claim it. And that's why I say, if you come on here and you start trying to act like you know me, or you know how I work, or you know how I tick, and you're so-called giving me your good advice that I didn't ask for in the first place. And guys, already, I love you, but I don't ask people to like, comment, or subscribe. I never ever do, because no. I always say, if you like it, take it. If you don't, push on. You know what I'm saying? Not to. And is it a contradiction because I like to have the communication? No, it isn't. But if it's something that I don't, I that's why I said, you know what? I'm going to avoid this whole conversation about these sessions, and I'm just going to, especially with he and I'm going to close the comments down. I don't close the comments down on the others, because the others are totally different types of sessions. They're about the person individually, or they're really close friends of mine, and so it's just conducted totally different than the way I do it when I do it with Lars. When I do it with Lars, we're trying to get information. He has an opportunity to ask as many questions as he wants. Every now and then he will ask, something will come up or whatever, but a majority of the time he doesn't. And then I have to come up with them. So if I do come up with something and he doesn't want to tell me, now listen, they say that there's information that we're not supposed to share, or there's information that they're not going to give us because it's not in our best interest, or they may deem that it's not important. Did I hear that? Yes, absolutely. I heard that. I know exactly what he said. I'm not stupid. I really heard everything that he said. You know what I mean? Do I care to hear your 2 cents or what you have to say about it? Not really, because you don't understand the dynamics of our relationship. You don't know our conversations before we start. You don't know the conversations that we have afterwards or whatever. So you're just adding in, your opinion. And a lot of times your opinion, I don't know, people, you have the anonymity of being online, and you say things, and all of a sudden you tell me I'm a waste, and it's waste, and that never bodes well with me. It just doesn't. I apologize in advance, you guys. I really do. So normally, if that keeps going, then of course, I'm going to delete you and block you. So I really don't have to hear anything that you have to say. There's quite a few people. I'm up to like 23 now. I've had 20. It was 20 last time. Then I unblocked a few people because they connected with me and another, and then we really had an opportunity to have a conversation or whatever. Like I said, guys, I am sensitive. I'm hypersensitive. I'm argumentative. I'm suspicious. I'm a little paranoid. And I haven't smoked weed in a long time, believe me. I think I'm more chill when I smoke weed. It's not legal in my state. So please don't be offended if you say something to me and I say something back to you that you don't like or what have you. And you, of course, you have a right to unsubscribe and and not listen to me or whatever, or just catch it whenever you can, or however it makes you feel good to do or whatever. But for the most part, if you don't have anything really loving or positive to say to me, just don't say it at all or whatever, because like I said, no matter what you say, I always respond to everyone. And I know people say, well, just ignore it and stop, and don't. I'm working on that, you guys. I really am. I'm working on ignoring people. All right. I love you guys, believe it or not. Thank you very much for listening. I do appreciate it. Love and light. I'm trying to be better. Namaste.